Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel, Cakes and Stitches. Lovely to see you all here again. Wanted to start this episode by saying thank you so much to my new subscribers. I had a little flurry of new subscribers after my last video, which was really lovely. And obviously thank you to those of you who come back and watch every time, and those of you who comment and leave me likes. I really appreciate it. It makes it such a nice place to be, with that bit of community, and know that there's someone out there listening when I'm talking about the thing that I really enjoy. So thank you very much and welcome. It is, what's today, the 17th of December. So we are just over a week out from Christmas, and I'm filming in my front room today with all my little Christmassy bits behind me. I apologise for the lights. It is a really grey, rubbish weather day here in the UK today. So I've got the overhead lights on, which are a little bit warm in colour, but hopefully that won't detract too much from the things that I'm going to show you. So what else did I want to say to begin with? Oh, I'm wearing a hand knitted jumper today, so you haven't seen this before. This is the Whitmore sweater by oh, I can't remember her name now. Terrible. I'll put it in a link underneath anyway. It's the Whitmore sweater. If you're into knitting, you'll know all about it. Lots of people have knit this, and it's knit with Drops Merino. It's lovely and warm and cozy, and yeah, I've really enjoyed wearing it today. Okay, I've not done a massive amount of stitching in terms of the number of projects I've worked on since I last spoke to you, which I think was about 5 weeks ago. I've decided to really focus in on some particular projects, trying to get some finishes. So before I show you those, I am going to show you a previous finish and FFO. So that is here. Make sure he's upright. So this is a design by Hoops and Crosses, I believe, and it is based on Die Hard, a quote from Die Hard. So it says, "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho." I know there's always a bit of an argument over whether or not Die Hard is in fact a Christmas movie, but for me it is definitely a Christmas movie. It's one we watch every year, and yeah, I really like this. I finished it last year, hoop finish, got a bit of red felt on the back, and that's just hanging up in my kitchen for the Christmas season. So love that. In terms of what I've been working on, the first thing that I worked on was my Prairie Schooler Santa. I believe this is the 2022 one, and he is stitched on a piece of 25 count Lugana even weave. He's not with the called for colours. I chose my own colours. I think I mentioned to you last time that I'd chosen a green, and I really didn't like how it was looking, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do about it. Well, I went through my stash and I found another green which I much preferred, so I put a bit of that in, compared them both, and decided that yes, the one that I had now found was better. So I frogged all my old green, and I've put my new green in there, which I'm much happier with. I think it complements the red much better. The only changes I've made to this, in the original pattern there are supposed to be some like fairy lights here, over here, and I think up above the head as well. And I did start stitching those with some metallic thread, but just didn't like how they were looking. So I'm leaving him as he is with his little penguin friends. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll get this FFO'd for this Christmas, but he'll be ready to go next Christmas. We'll get him in a frame ready for next year. So yeah, really pleased with that, and lovely to have a finish. So when I finished working on him, I picked up a new project. So this is a new start and a finish. I was really lucky. I entered a competition on Instagram and I won this cross stitch kit. So this is Gingerbread Cottage from Sophie Crafts. So I won this on her giveaway, and as soon as I finished Santa, I got this one out and decided I wanted to get it done as quickly as possible. It's only a small design, so it didn't take too long. This is on 14 count Ada, and here it is. Sorry, you can still see the hoop marks in there terribly because it's not been ironed yet. But that's our little gingerbread cottage, and this was really lovely to stitch. Nice and easy, good one for the evenings when I was feeling a bit tired. It came with, where is it? It's lean out of shot, sorry. It came with this small hoop that it fits into. So I will probably finish it in there, and similarly to my die hard one I just showed you, I'll put a bit of felt across the back. I might actually see if I can fit it in a slightly smaller frame so that it's small enough to hang on the tree, but we'll see. Again, it's not going to be ready for this year, but I think maybe over the Christmas holidays I'll try and get this FFO'd so that next year it's ready to go. So yeah, I really enjoyed stitching that. It was a really nice little quick kit. And the last thing I've been working on, so it is only 3 projects this time, is For Thee by Lila's Studio. Can we fit all that in? We can. So again, sorry about the light. I know it's putting shadows everywhere and making things a strange colour. So this is For Thee by Lila's Studio. It's a free pattern on their website. And you've seen this a few times before. I'm stitching this for my mum and dad for their 50th wedding anniversary. So since you saw it last, I have been working on this section. It's over here, this part here. So we've got this hexagon in, this one, got this flower, this heart. I think I maybe have also done these little sort of snowflakey shapes since I last saw you. So it's had quite a lot of progress on it, this one. And now that those other 2 projects are finished, I will just be working on this pretty much until it's done. I might do something different for a day if I feel like I need a break, but primarily all of my focus is going to be on this now. I really want to get this done before the end of December so that I can get it properly framed in plenty of time for their anniversary, which is on the 8th of February. So I've not got a huge amount of time. This is stitched on a 28 count antique white from Fabric Flair even weave. And again, I've gone with my own colours. So I've got a few different reds and 3799 as the grey that's in there. And I've also got, where is it? I've also got in my little box the gold, which is not there. Oh, so sorry. There it is. Anyone who knows me will know that this is my usual level of organisation. So I've got this gold here. So this is DMC Diamant. So I heard someone talking about this on their Flosstube, saying that it was easier to stitch with than the usual metallic threads. So I'm yet to be convinced. This is what I tried to stitch my fairy lights with on the Prairie Schooler Santa, and I didn't like how it looked, but we're going to give it a go. So my plan is to put the year, let's see if I can, oh, it's upside down, whoops, put the year, you get in the pattern, there's a little rectangle here and a little rectangle there that have got initials in. I'm going to put the 1975 in there. I'm going to do some stitching in this bit. So in the pattern, this says, is patient, is kind. And I'm thinking I'm going to stitch to have and to hold. And I'm going to do it in gold. Here, I think it says never ends. So I might stitch that in gold. And this one in the pattern has For Thee in it. And I'm thinking I might stitch 50 years in there in gold as well. So just a bit of gold scattered around as it's their golden wedding anniversary. So hopefully this will do the job. But as I say, it remains to be seen. It's gone very dark all of a sudden, hasn't it, on the camera? And so that's all I've worked on since I saw you, which I think last time was around the 11th of November. So it's been 5 weeks. I've not had a huge amount of stitching time. The whole Christmas preparation thing has really taken up my time. I'm sure lots of you understand that as a mum, I've just been doing loads of Christmas shopping, loads of Christmas planning. I have to tell my mum what the children want and then go and buy it for her. I have to let my sister know, all the wrapping, planning the food. So life's been pretty busy recently, and school, so I work in a school, if you don't already know, school is manic at this time of year with performances and Christmas lunches and making Christmas cards and things. So yeah, time's been tight this year at this point in the year, and so I've not done a huge amount of stitching, but I'm pretty pleased with what I have got done, and I'm really pleased to have 2 finishes. That's really nice. I have done a bit of shopping, obviously, so I will show you what I have bought. I'm not sure I know where they're all from. So I've bought some stickers. Sorry for the rustling, apologies. Let's see if I can just get a couple of them out. I won't show you all of them because we'll be here for a while, but they're little, some of them Christmassy, some of them are just sort of wintry. That's really cute, that one. I really like that. It's like a pretty coffee pot. Let's see, one more. I'm going from all the wintry ones and the Christmas ones because I bought them to be wintry. A pretty little deer. So a whole little pack of stickers. These are from Susie Elizabeth Art on Etsy, so I'll link her down below when I do my show notes. There's another nice little one there, really cute. So these are because I have asked my sister to buy me the Stitching Cabins cross stitch journal as my Christmas present this year, and I really want to sticker it up and make it pretty. So those are going to be my January stickers, and then the ones that are really Christmassy I'll put away and keep for next December to sticker up them. So yeah, they're lovely. My next purchase I am so excited about, so excited about. So I have been looking for this pattern for probably the best part of this year. I saw it, I think I saw it on Sew Me Sarah's Flosstube. I might have seen it on somebody else's, but I know Sew Me Sarah is stitching it. She did very kindly say that when she finished hers, she would send me the copy, because I said to her in a comment that I was struggling to find it. But Yasmin at Yasmin's Made with Love was having a bit of a de-stash on eBay, and she had the pattern that I wanted, so I just went for it and bought it. And it is this absolute beauty. So it's Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And my God, I absolutely love this so much. So I'm super excited to have it. I think it's going to be my birthday start next year, and I'm thinking I might get some Swan Bay fabric to stitch it on. I'm as terrified of it as I am excited, because it is huge. It is, does it tell me how many stitches it is, I wonder? Well, it says if you're stitching on 40 count fabric, it says you need a piece that is 18.5 inches by 18 3/8 inches. So that's pretty massive, isn't it? So yeah, it is enormous. It's got some speciality stitches in it. But something about this, just, I could not get it out of my head. I think the colours are absolutely stunning. I really love these little birds in this red house. So yeah, I just had to have it. And I do plan to start it next year. I don't want this lingering in stash. As I said, it's massive, so I need to get on with it. I need to get started on it so that we have some hope of finishing it in my lifetime. But yeah, really pleased to have that. It's lovely. Another one that I'm really excited to have is, again, I've been looking at this one for ages and ages, and I kept going to buy it. I put it in my cart, took it out my cart, and then I was watching Flossie Sews and Grows most recent video, and she is doing a Best of British stitch along next year, stitching charts that have been designed by British designers, and she mentioned this one, and I was like, well, if she's doing it, then I have to have it as well. So this is, oh, the glare, horrible. Hang on, let me take it out. Sorry for the rustling. Didn't realise that was in plastic. This is Spring on Lock Lane by the Old Barn Stitching Company. And again, I mean, in a way it's quite similar, isn't it, to Rejoice Evermore. It's going to put me out of the picture for a minute. They are very similar, so that probably goes to show why I like them both so much. They've both got that lovely house, double fronted. I do love a symmetrical double fronted house. In fact, we're going to get some building work done on our house. Our house is double fronted, but it's not symmetrical, and we are going to get some building work done next year to make it symmetrical, because I like symmetry. Yeah, we've got that lovely big double fronted house. We've got those birds, and we've got similar colours as well, that really rich sort of tealy blue. So yeah, I've bought the fabric for this, and I've bought the Classic Colourworks Bejeweled, which is this, I'll bring it a little bit closer, that really beautiful blue there. I've ordered those, Unfortunately, the cottage garden threads for that blue flower and that pink flower were out of stock when I did my order. But I'm going to start top left anyway, so I can get started. So I think I'm going to start this in January. I'm not sure exactly when in January, but I'm going to start this one in January. So that also is not going to linger in my stash. My auto ship from Patchwork Rabbit has come. I've had 2 of those since I last saw you. So number 8, so it's Little House Needleworks Log Cabin Christmas, and number 8 is this one. Sorry, it's also in plastic, but I think the glare is not too bad on that one. So it's really lovely, another lovely house. I'm going to be stitching lots of houses. And number 9 turned up literally as I was about to film this morning, and this is Mr. Snow. Let's see if we can get rid of the glare. I don't think that's too bad. So we've got a lovely house again, and we've got a snowman and a lovely tree, a lovely Christmas tree. So beautiful. Not sure when I'm going to start that. I do want to stitch that whole series on one big piece of fabric, so I need to do a bit of planning for that one. So no immediate plans to start just yet. And then I purchased something today. I was watching Just So Sherry at the weekend, her latest video, and she showed this pattern. I just thought it was super cute. So this is Little Christmas Gnomes. There we go. So cute, aren't they? They are by Sam X Stitch on Etsy. Again, I'll try to link it underneath. And all 6 of those use the same 8 colours of DMC. So I'm going to put in an order for those later. I went on, I only bought this morning, but I knew already that I was going to buy it. And I know that I want to stitch them on perforated paper to make little tree decorations. Perforated paper is so hard to get hold of at the moment for some reason, but luckily I found some on eBay. A seller on eBay had some white for a reasonable price, so I've ordered some of that. I'm going to order the DMCs, and then although these don't form part of my plans for 25 really, I think I might just dip in and out of these when I fancy something small and reasonably quick to stitch. Yeah, I thought they were lovely. So really sweet little pattern. So that's my purchases. I have ordered a couple of bits of fabric, but they've not arrived yet, so I will show them to you next time. If we stick with the cross stitch, and we'll talk about plans for 2025. Just have a little sip of tea before it goes cold. Oh, while I'm talking, I must say, I've got a new phone and I'm filming on my new phone, so I don't know where to look. And I'm not sure what the picture quality and sound quality are going to be like. So if it's not great, I apologise, and I'll try to do something about it for future. But as I say, it's my first time filming on this phone, so fingers crossed, all is well. So yeah, cross stitch plans for 2025. So I'm going to do 25 in 25 next year, and my thoughts around that is, apart from one thing, so 24 of those 25 are going to be based on whips. So I've gone through my whip stash and I have selected 12 whips that I want to finish next year. So those are going to be like my focus pieces. And then I've selected 12 whips that I want to make some progress on next year. So the 12 that I want to finish, I've just got in a list, and my plan is to get one out and work on it until it's done before I get the next one, to get those 12 finished. My 12 whips that I want to make progress on, I'm putting on a whip go board. So I've never done whip go before, but it looks like a bit of fun, and it, you know, takes some of the decision making out, and it means that hopefully I'll get a good sort of variety of projects to work on throughout the year. So the 12 that I've chosen, I've put on my whip go board twice each, and for each of those squares, when they get called, I'll do 3 hours. So those 12 projects should get 6 hours of work over the course of next year as a minimum. Obviously I might work on them a bit more, but at least 6 hours, which I think we'll see a decent amount of progress on some of them, hopefully on most of them. And then my number 13 on my whip go board is going to be a new start, and it's just going to be to start a kit. I've got loads and loads of kits upstairs. You know how it is, and that's why I'm saying about the things I've just bought. I want to start them quickly so they don't get lost in stash. You buy these things, you put them away in your stash, and then you just never look at them again, do you? So I've put number 13 to start a kit, and when that gets called, I'll just go up into my stash and choose a kit to start. So that will make up my 25th project for that. I do have a plan to start something new on New Year's Eve. So that will be another project next year. And that is a long dog sampler, because I've been dying to do a long dog sampler for quite a while. So I'm going to start that on New Year's Eve, and then, sorry, lights flickered then. And then I'm thinking I might do like a thread a day in the long dog, so that it just keeps ticking over. I've got no expectations of making massive progress on it next year, because I really, really want to focus on some whips and clear the decks a little bit, and to start working through my stash. But I think maybe if I do a thread a day or something like that with it, and just make sure that it sees a bit of action regularly, then hopefully that will work. And then in terms of new starts for next year, again, I've done a list of 12 things I've already got in stash, or a couple of things that I've just bought recently that I want to start next year. But I'm going to try and stick to this. I'm not going to start anything until I've finished something. So the idea is that list of whips I want to finish. When I finish one of those, I can start something new from my list of new starts. But I do want to try and do that, because when I went through my stash to look at what I was going to put on my whip go board and things, it's becoming overwhelming. I've got so many things and so much stuff, and things just get forgotten about, and I don't want to forget about them, because when I bought them I loved them. So I do want to do new starts next year, because I want to start using the things I've got, but also I don't want to end up with like 50 whips, because that will just be silly. I'll never get anything done properly. So yeah, the plan is when I finish a whip, I will start something new. And to that end, I've chosen a whip for January. I've chosen Autumn Pillow to finish from Flossabilities, because I know that has got a tiny bit outstanding that I only didn't finish because I ran out of thread. And I want to get that finished so that I can start Spring on Lock Lane. So that's my plans so far. I'm thinking I will probably do a video in January where I will go through those plans with you in more detail and show you which whips I want to finish and which whips are on my whip go board, and maybe show you the new starts I've got planned as well. But that will come, as I say, probably in January. Okay, I think that's it for cross stitch. I do have a small bit of knitting to share with you. I've got a cake to share with you, and I've got a book to share with you. So let's start with the book. I haven't got the hard copy of the book anymore. I did read it in paperback, but I've given it to my mum. So I've just got a picture of it up on my Kindle, which hopefully you can see. So that is All I Want for Christmas by Karen Swan. So I love Karen Swan. I have read a lot of her Christmas books. I've read a couple of her other books as well. This was just delightful. It's set in Copenhagen. Is that right? Copenhagen, Denmark? I think so. I'm saying that now and then doubting myself. Somewhere I've always wanted to visit, and reading about it and having the story set there has just made me want to visit even more. It was really cozy. It wasn't overly Christmassy, because the background to the story is based on a piece of art that's been discovered, and the main character is like an art researcher, and she's trying to find out the history of it. So the main focus was that, but it was set around December time. There were Christmassy things going on, and yeah, it just felt really cozy. And obviously there's a love story going on in the background, and I mean, well done to Karen Swan. She really kept you guessing with this love story the whole way through. It was will they, won't they? Oh, yes, they are. Oh, no, they're not. So yeah, that really kept me gripped. So I loved that book. Really enjoyed it. So I thoroughly recommend that book if you're looking for a nice, cozy read. Hopefully the light is going to go back to normal. There we go. Socks. I have got a pair of socks finished. Lovely. I don't know if you can see in the camera, they are sparkly. I'm not sure that it's showing up terribly well. So this is just a plain pair of vanilla socks, nothing fancy going on. It's knit with a colourway by Giddy Yarns called Tea with Mr. Tumnus, which is a Narnia reference. And I've got a little contrast cuff and contrast toes, and this is just a little ball of green that I had in my stash. So yeah, really love those. They were really quick to knit. Really enjoyed doing them, and now that I've shown them to you, I can start wearing them, which is really nice. And last but not least is today's cake. So today's cake is a special one. Let's see if I can stand it up. Oh, yum. So this is my daughter's birthday cake. Let's just tip it that way so you can see on the top. So it was my daughter's birthday on the 22nd of November, and I'm sure some of you are thinking, how on earth have you still got a slice of cake from the 22nd of November? Let's let that wait a minute. So I froze this slice. This was the last slice left, and I thought, oh, I'm going to put that in the freezer. I'll show it on my next Flosstube, and then when I finish filming, I can eat it. I quite often do that with cake. Just put the odd slice in the freezer because they all freeze well and they defrost nicely. Still taste delicious. So this, if you've not seen it, it was on my Instagram. I made her a Stitch birthday cake because she's really into Stitch at the moment. And the cake itself, I'll just stand it back up again. It's lucky it's frozen. That means I can move it. So it is a vanilla Madeira cake, which I made one deep cake, which I've sliced in half and sandwiched back together with some vanilla buttercream. We've got vanilla buttercream around the outside. Just keep licking off my fingers. In a nice lilac colour. A few little sparkly gems on top. And this recipe is from a website called She Who Bakes. Again, I'll link it underneath. If ever I'm making like a celebration birthday cake that's going to have some sort of heavy decoration on it, this is the recipe that I use. And it always turns out beautifully. Everyone really enjoys it. It does need the buttercream on it because if you had just the cake itself, I think it would be a bit dry. But with the buttercream, it is delicious. So yeah, we all really enjoyed that. It didn't last very long, and luckily no one noticed that I squirreled a slice away to share with you. So I think that's everything. I feel like I've rattled through today. I've just finished work this morning, and it is my last couple of hours where I have some time in the house on my own before the Christmas holidays start and the children are here and my husband's home, and I'm planning now. I've got about an hour left to have a nice quiet hour. I'm going to watch some Flosstube, maybe some Flossmas, and do a bit of stitching and just relax and enjoy the peace and quiet for the last hour, probably until the middle of January. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a nice peaceful hour now and enjoying myself. So thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you. And I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will see you back here again in January 2025. Bye.